Now, you mentioned specifically for an organization like ConAgra, where there are so many changes in consumer tastes and millennials wanting one thing and baby boomers having different tastes. And we know the board is obviously made up, like you said, of senior professionals who have years and years of tremendous experience. But isn't it important to have somebody like a millennial on your board to be able to balance some of the the information exchange and give you an idea of what's going on in the industry, so you can make the decisions that you need to at that level?
I think the crux of your question is absolutely correct, that the board needs to have a perspective of all segments of its customers when they make decisions. Now, whether it should be part of a board member is a different matter altogether, because you can argue that every function should be represented on a business, human resources, finance, marketing, IT. And then suddenly or different kinds of customers. You should have older generation, younger generation, upcoming generation, kids. Well, suddenly you'll have 100 people board. It's just not feasible. What is important is that every perspective must be recognized and be considered in decision making. And the board should be aware of what is present and what is not. The board should be aware of what is the critical skill matrix you need for that company at that point of time. And as a result, we do make changes in the board. Our board, every member is re-elected every year, unlike most other companies where it is generally 3 years. And the reason for that is that if we need to refresh the board, we can refresh the board based on the skill required, based on what's going on in the company. Okay. So we do bring in experts, whether they're consultants, and we talk to our marketing heads because they come in to the board as to how do they get the information, and they use obviously sophisticated analytics and market research to find out what the consumers need. Now, for some other companies, whether it's a Facebook or Snapchat, maybe it is more critical to have on the board itself somebody who represents that voice, because their customer base is 70-80% and growing from that generation. So maybe there it makes a little more sense. But I mean, for example, I used to be on the board of a cable company, Charter Communications. Now you got customers who are 80 years old and 90 years old, and you customers who are, watching Disney Channel. But we didn't need them on the board. The older ones happen to be on the board. So I would say all perspectives are needed, and as long as the board is aware and is considering it, it is not necessary that everyone should be on the board.